What's up guys, Houndish here, and today Bungie jump in and they give us all of the details on Solstice of Heroes for this year. So, of course we've been waiting for the next kind of major bit of content for this season, and today we do get the trailer for Solstice of Heroes, but on top of this, Bungie have a blog post with a bunch of details. So they talk about new elemental buffs that we're going to see, combat meditations, and a new area in the European Dead Zone. So we get more information about that, hidden treasure chests, Solstice package awards, information about upgrading the armor this year, and, importantly, the Solstice gear will be the first Armor 2.0 set that we'll be able to receive, assuming we can actually earn it. So I'll explain how that's going to work in just a moment, but it's definitely good news. Yeah, Bungie show us exotics and a bunch of other stuff, so we're going to jump in, break it all down in this video, guys, and without further delay, let's get straight into it. So firstly, Solstice of Heroes is going to begin on July 30th, and it will run up until August 27th. So basically a full month that the event will be live for. And before we talk about any more of the details, let's jump in and check out the trailer for this year, and then I'll talk about the Armor 2.0 stuff before we break down how the event is going to work.
This year, we have something special. Solstice.
So pretty cool trailer right there. The armor, I think, is looking absolutely fantastic. And that's definitely a good thing because Bungie have some details about how this will interact with the new Armor 2.0 system. So in the blog post they said, "We know that while upgrading these sets is a fun experience, it does take a commitment of time and effort, lest it feel like a bummer earning this set just to have the new armor system make it somewhat obsolete. When Shadowkeep releases, we decided, based on player feedback, to make the Solstice of Heroes armor set the first Armor 2.0 set that you will receive, assuming you can earn it, of course. So whatever full legendary sets you earn now will have their new Armor 2.0 versions waiting for you to pick up from the gunsmith when Shadowkeep releases. You'll be able to see only the set for the character you are logged in as, and you'll have to switch characters to claim the other eligible sets. And so, this of course solves the problem of Solstice armor becoming obsolete. If you can obtain it now, it will be updated to have that new system in September. But on top of this, it actually turns the Solstice set into a very quick way to get access to that new system once September rolls around, right? Because instead of having to hunt a load of new gear that's going to have those perk options, your Solstice stuff will already be available and you can start applying mods and whatever as soon as you get them. So this is a real positive for Solstice, but also for Shadowkeep itself. Yeah, credit to Bungie on some clever design right there. But now let's break down some of the other details. Bungie say that each day the event will feature one of three elements: Solar, Arc, and Void, and elemental kills will award you with elemental orbs. Picking up these orbs will let you complete objectives to upgrade your armor. You can create whatever orbs you need for the objectives you are working to achieve, and you can also collect 30 orbs that match the daily element to apply an elemental buff for a brief time. And they say these buffs can really shake things up, so for the solar buff, equip your solar subclass and weapons to generate solar orbs, then collect them to wield their solar elemental power. While empowered, Guardians emit a burning wave of energy that damages anything around them. So that's pretty cool. Anything that gets too close to you as a Guardian is actually going to kind of begin to singe or burn, which is really awesome. For the Void elemental buff, of course, once again, get your Void subclass and weapons, generate Void orbs, and they say crouch while empowered to become invisible and gain true sight, plus enhanced ability regeneration. Now that does sound incredibly strong right there. So as a Warlock, you'll be fully invisible with true sight, and all of your abilities will be charging faster than before. But for the Arc buff, collect Arc orbs, and while empowered, Guardians move with enhanced speed and deal greater melee and sword damage. These effects will last for a short time until you are defeated by your enemies, but have no fear, these buffs will not be active in competitive or Gambit Prime. So worth bearing those in mind. Inside of normal PvP, this will actually be a working thing, but in comp, as well as Gambit Prime, it won't be functional. I think especially the Void and Arc buffs right there sound very powerful, but safe to say they are certainly unique bonuses. But then Bungie talk about combat meditations. Eva and Akora have created a new ritual for you to own your skills and take full advantage of the new elemental buffs. You'll be going into an entirely new area called the European Aerial Zone to take on Hive, Cabal, or fallen enemies. This is a new 3-player match-made activity that can be launched from the tower or the director. The goal is going to be to defeat as many mini-bosses as possible before the time expires, and when time runs out, you will face off against a final boss. Once the boss is defeated, you'll set out across the zone in search of treasure chests, and the more mini-bosses you defeat, the more treasure will await you. That sounds pretty cool. Kind of a different version of what we've seen in the Infinite Forest in the past. It could actually be quite a bit better. The chests themselves will contain Solstice packages that you can open with Solstice key fragments earned by completing any activity during the event. And Bungie say they are pretty similar to kind of Essence of Dawning from back in winter of last year. So in terms of the rewards, the packages will drop rare and legendary gear, enhancement cores, and materials. So right there, it could indeed be a good way to recover from some of that tribute haul spending that you may have done. But finally, once we've earned the legendary Solstice Armor, the packages will reward us with additional armor so that we can hunt for roles with enhanced perks. I think that's definitely a good bonus right there, but collecting all of the Solstice legendary armor sets on all 3 classes will give you access to the EV-37 Void Streak Sparrow. And we see an image of it right there. This was actually a Sparrow back in D1 that came as part of SRL as far as I know, so not sure if we can take that as a tease or not, but Bungie talk about the fact that we'll have to upgrade the armor from Drained to Renewed, and finally to the Majestic legendary set, and there are going to be a bunch of different objectives to actually get it done. And we can see how they kind of evolve right there on screen, but to get the armor glows for these armor pieces, we'll actually have to purchase them from Eververse for either silver or bright dust. The armor glows will shine brightest whenever the subclass element aligns with the element of the glow, and the glows will remain available for use after the end of the Solstice of Heroes. So they are an Eververse item, we don't kind of earn them inside of the new activity as far as we know, but they can be purchased with currencies like Bright Dust, which is a positive. And they give us a little preview right here of some of the exotic cosmetics that'll be available in the store as well. So a very curious looking sparrow, or a few curious looking sparrows, the new ship, and some very summery looking ghost shells right there. I didn't know ghosts needed sunglasses or beach balls, but there you have it. Of course, there will also be emotes and things like that, some of which we can see previewed on the screen. So that is the bulk of the blog post right there, guys. Solstice is running from July 30th up until August 27th. And I think it's absolutely huge that this set is going to be Armor 2.0 enabled once Shadowkeep drops. Do bear that in mind. When we initially get these sets, they're going to work in the same way that all of our armor works at the moment, but as long as you've acquired it, you basically get a ticket that allows you to go and pick up an Armor 2.0 version of it after Shadowkeep drops. And so, not only will you have access to the perks and the new mods and stuff immediately, but you will look rather glorious while you're doing it. So let us know your thoughts about that down below, guys. Very positive stuff. I'll link the blog post and the trailer in the description box below. So now that we know a little bit more about what Solstice this year is actually about, I think it is worth breaking down some additional things about it. So from early data mined information about the event, we get more specifics about the upgrade requirements for pieces of armor, and some of them will include resetting your Season 7 Valor ranking in the Crucible, as well as completing bounties. So we're not 100% sure whether the Valor reset will be retroactive this season, and so the next best thing you can do is kind of get close to a Valor reset, and then wait for the event to go live to actually do it. So just a quick heads up on that one, but also for the complete bounties step, we're not certain if they're actually Solstice only bounties or general bounties. Some of the pieces refer to Solstice bounties specifically, but then some of the upgrades later on only mention bounties, so it's possible that it might be worth saving a few bounties if you want to get it done a little bit quicker. You know, if it's Crucible, Vanguard stuff, even the Gunsmith bounties, whatever, it may prove useful if you hold on to them. But yeah, just bear in mind, they could specifically require Solstice bounties instead, and if not, I guess unlucky and we'll have to grind a little bit more when the event is out. JP Deathblade as well as Giovanno on Reddit both posted information about some of the quests and upgrades themselves. So for the opening quests, we'll have to go and see Eva Levante in the tower, of course. She'll give us that Drained Armor set, and this is where she'll send us off to the European Aerial Zone, basically to run through the event for the first time. And we can see plenty of text references to an island and the sky, and that's the aerial zone itself, which is actually built up of various zones, but yeah, once we've done that first run, we'll get the Drained Armor set for Solstice, and basically, this is where the process of upgrading that stuff will actually start. We've seen a little bit of what Aerial Zone looks like, and according to the files, there are 7 different zones that actually make up this space, so the Meditation Grounds, Ruins, Town, Factory, Mall, Garage, and Courtyard. So kind of like a raid or a PvP map, the different areas are actually named, which is kind of cool, and every day a different element will be featured, and then of course we can match the element with our subclass and get that empowerment buff. And also, the title seal for Moments of Triumph this year does have a couple of additional requirements that are linked to Solstice of Heroes. So initially, you will have to obtain the complete Majestic Solstice of Heroes armor set, so that's the top tier set but it will also require players to masterwork any piece of Majestic Solstice Armor, so you need to get the top tier set and then fully upgrade and do the masterwork objective for one of the pieces. You don't have to do all of them. And so in addition to the other tribes you can currently see for the seal this year, these will be what you have to do. The only other thing to mention, while Bungie didn't actually announce Solar Week just yet, of course we do know that there is data mined information about this upcoming event in the game. We had Arc Week a couple of months back, and that actually introduced a bunch of Arc subclass changes into the game, and then sort of incentivized different reasons to go out and use those subclasses. But for the listing of Solar Week, we can see many solar subclass paths have been refreshed and improved, tower vendors are offering bounties to solar wielders, participate in solar singe activities, and the description says that solar energy has swept the system, and in response Lord Saladin has declared a week of celebration. And so Iron Banner appears to run every 4 weeks or so, and JP Deathblade points out that we're likely to see it once again on the 20th of August. And so if Solar Week is going to be a thing inside of Season 7, for now it's looking very, very likely that late August is when we're going to get it, and of course Solstice itself will still be active at that time, so it'll certainly be interesting. So guys, there we go. That is the breakdown of Solstice of Heroes. Let us know your thoughts on what Bungie have revealed. I think they've answered a bunch of the questions, but give us your thoughts in the comment section. If you've enjoyed the video, a rating is very much appreciated as well. And if you're new to the channel and you want to keep posted with everything related to Destiny 2, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. For now though, thanks as always for tuning in, and whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.